welcome to a pick a poll reading. It's so good to be here with you. It's been a little while since I last posted. Without going too far into it, my son was a close contact, so he had to isolate for 7 days. Even though he didn't actually have the C, he had a runny nose the whole time, so we had to do the isolation thing. But that period has finished now, and I have a day where I can actually do some filming and get some footage out for you guys. So I'm here to do a reading, and we are going to be looking at what is the truth of this connection or with this person. So ideally you're coming to this reading with someone in mind. So whatever your situation is with them, basically we're going to understand this person a little bit better. So if there's answers that you can't get from this person, or if you're not in contact with this person, or if you're just struggling in the relationship, or whatever the situation is, this is the answers that you feel you don't have, or the truth that you feel you don't have. So we're going to hope to clarify today. So in this reading, we're going to be looking at what this person is doing and focusing on in their life at the moment. Then we're going to look at what they're thinking and feeling in regards to you. So this is like in the 3D, both of those in the normal, general human realm. We're going to have a look at what their 3D self would say to you, given the chance. And then we're going to finish up with who is this person in terms of what kind of hints we can get about them as a person, zodiac signs, initials. We'll get some physical appearance and characteristics, traits and things like that, and have a look at the general sort of consensus of the group in terms of those physical characteristics and hints. And then there will also be an extended today. So we're also going to look at will this person take any action, and if they're going to take any action, when is it? Then we're going to look at what is the divine truth about this person and this connection. So what does the divine have to say? We're going to ask for your higher self's advice to you on the connection. So what your higher self would guide you in terms of the connection, and in terms of life in general. So where you should be focusing right now, what you should be doing right now. So we're going to get through a lot of info when it comes to both this part and the extended reading. So without further ado, let's get into the pole selections. So I've been out in my garden today, and I was inspired by the different items in my garden. So I've pulled 3 of my favourite little shapes or items out. I'm not going to pick this one up because he's getting really floppy. He hasn't lasted so long off the bush as I thought that he would, poor thing. So this is pile 1 though. We'll leave pile 1 down there. Actually, no, we won't. I'll try, because I wanted to show you both sides, because we have like this beautiful deep purple on one side. And it's just like, I don't know, it's similar, but it's a different contrast or a different tone, and it's just really beautiful. So that's group 1. This is group 2, which is like a little love heart leaf. I thought it was so cute. So this one's kind of like a reddish kind of colour too. And it looks like a little heart. So cute. And then group 3, you guys have this gorgeous little purple kind of lilac. Is that a lilac? Mauve, light baby pink, baby purple little flower. So they are the group selections. Feel free to pause the video and see where you're being pulled in terms of which group has the messages that relate to your person. And I will see you over there shortly. Hi group 1, welcome to your reading, where we are going to be looking into the truth of the connection with the person you have in mind. So regardless of whether you're with this person, not with this person, or anything in between, we are aiming to get the answers that you can't seem to get in reality from this person for whatever reason. And we're going to try and give you some clarity so that you kind of know how to move forward, I suppose, and not feel so stuck or unsure about things. So in this part of the reading, we're going to be covering what they're doing and focusing on in their current life in the 3D type sense, what they are thinking and feeling in regards to the connection with you. We're going to figure out what their 3D self might say to you, given the chance. Or if you're like already in connection with this person, it's like what their 3D self would tell you that they're not telling you at the moment. And then we're going to finish off with some traits from the goodie jars in terms of getting any clarification we can in regards to their zodiac sign, their initials, and any physical characteristics or traits that we can pick up as a collective. So I think that's all I need to cover for this. There will be an extended, so I'll refresh your memory at the end of the reading as to what we're going to cover, but there's going to be a lot more to cover in the extended as well. But for now, we're going to start by looking at what this person is currently doing and focusing on in the 3D. So I am going to start with my astrology deck and kind of look at where their focus is or where their energy is currently placed in their 3D life. So for group 1, so we have the 10th house, group 1's person. We have the 7th house, what are they focusing on at present, and the 1st house. Okay, underneath we have the 4th house. So that's interesting that we got the houses out for each one. It makes it even easier because they directly relate to areas of one's life without having to do too much interpretation. So the 10th house is like the Capricorn energy, and the 10th house really relates to like our status, our career, our destiny, our role in life. So this person is focusing a lot on their career, maybe even like their destined path, trying to work on that or maybe find what that is. With combining destiny with the 7th house, like it does kind of tell me that maybe they're focusing a little bit on their destined partnership or destined connection in life. I could look at those two in that sense as well, because again, that 10th house can talk about our role, whether social roles, public roles, career roles, any type of role that we're playing, along with our status, career, things like that. So looking at those two kind of together is like, okay, yep, I can see that. And then it kind of goes into the 1st house and the 4th house, which kind of reiterates that. So even though they're focusing on the self, they're trying to focus on others as well. So the 4th house is about intimate relationships, family, home, children, that type of thing. And 1st house is the self, your own identity. But then, yeah, the 7th house is like balance, partnerships, romance, and again, 10th house, destiny, status, career. So these are kind of some of the areas that this person is focusing on. But we'll also get some further clarification with some tarot. Okay, so what else can you tell us about group 1's person and the 10th house? Okay, so we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse. So they feel like they haven't got it all yet. They feel like there's something missing and something that's keeping them from feeling like they have fulfilled themselves in life. So with the Emperor, it kind of tells me that they have achieved a certain amount of success or status or they have achieved a very like solid foundation for themselves in terms of maybe like career, their money and things like that. But now they're sitting here looking at the Ten of Pentacles like, okay, but I have no one to share it with. So this is so far giving me a vibe that you guys are not in, you're not together at the moment. It feels like you guys are either separated, and whether they think that you're this or not, we're going to find out. But it seems like they're getting to a point in their life where they feel like, you know, they're really completing a lot in terms of like their achievements and their success and what they're doing with their life. But it seems like they feel like there's something missing in terms of maybe the one, and feeling like they want to shift now more like to finding someone to kind of share this with. Let's look at the 7th house. Why is group 1's person focused on the 7th house, or what else can you tell us about that? The other way I could view this is that if you're in a connection with this person and this is like your husband or your partner, they are looking at the connection feeling like there's something missing, and they're feeling like the fulfillment or the it's like they either question if this is like the destined relationship or if there's more. And then if you're, like I said, if you're not in a connection, then they are starting to shift more towards like, okay, there's something missing here in my life. But then if you're with this person, then I could definitely see that they seem to be feeling like there's something missing in their life at the moment. So it's either to do with the connection, or maybe they feel like they are lacking purpose, lacking something in their life. So moving on to the 7th house. Okay, so we do have the King of Cups coming out now. So this does tell me that they are seemingly shifting into like their heart space a little bit more, and trying to what I can see here is that they are definitely, I feel like that, oh, there's a fly in here, dang it. I thought I got rid of you before. This person seems to be like being more receptive to their heart space, more receptive to their feminine side, and opening more up to the idea of, love and partnership. And I feel like they're figuring out that they feel quite alone or quite lonely in their life. So even though I feel like they do have some sort of status or recognition, or they've achieved a lot, they feel alone, or they feel emotionally unfulfilled. So it feels like they're kind of balancing their feminine energy now and starting to realize that they do desire deep connection. And they're starting to really, I think, open up to the idea. So we have the Star, first house, the 9 of Cups. So definitely thinking about now what would make them happy, and what would be like a wish come true next, because the Star can definitely be about a wish or like hoping for something. And it seems like they're starting to acknowledge that what would make them happy now is like, family, genuine love, emotional connection, that type thing. Let's look at the 4th house. Why is this person thinking or focusing on the 4th house? This is where they want a new beginning, is like in the home, the family, in love, in intimacy, You know, they want to settle down now into like a safe space and start a new exciting adventure in that area. So it feels as though I'm almost seeing this as like this person's being handed the key to end this cycle, because it's like we've got a few nines. It's like they've almost, see, there's that fly. It's like they've almost got everything, and now they're being handed the key to, you know, closing that cycle and actually reaching that 10 of cups and 10 of pentacles. So they've definitely yeah, it's like they're just like super happy and content until it comes to that emotional fulfillment, and now that's what they want. They kind of want new beginnings in like home, family. If this person doesn't have children, it seems like they want to have that new beginning where they get to like experience that sort of that new journey. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm seeing there in terms of what they are doing and focusing on in life at the moment. It's like they're kind of shifting away from that material success and achievement, and now looking for more like emotional connection, emotional fulfillment, figuring out what would really make them happy and what would really fulfill them, you know, in the heart space. So that's kind of where they're shifting to at the moment. So we will now take a look at how they are thinking or feeling about you. So how much space do we have? We'll just move these up a little bit. Okay, what deck am I going to go to for that? We might go here. Okay, so how is Group 1's person thinking and feeling about Group 1 specifically? Okay, so I'm not going to take those. They're feeling like they're sticking together a little bit, so I'm just going to shuffle and loosen the deck up a little bit. That's feeling better. So how's Group 1's person thinking and feeling about them in the 3D? Yeah, look at that. The 10 of Pentacles again in the reverse. First card out. And then we have the 5 of Water. So if you've had a past connection with this person, they definitely feel a lot of disappointment and regret about ending it. Or if you're with this person and it's the harmony's missing, they feel really upset about this, and they really want to bring forgiveness in and seem to want to heal the connection with you. So whether you're connected or you're not connected, they are definitely regretful over where it's currently at, and they're wanting to bring that forgiveness back in, and maybe overcome the challenges in order to find that fulfillment. So we have the 6 of Air. So that's in the reverse. So it definitely feels as though it's sort of like they're holding on. They're holding on, they're not moving on. It feels like they don't want to if you guys are on path to sort of moving on from each other, it seems like they don't want that. They want to hold on, they don't want to move on. So if you've already moved on, then they definitely want to kind of like bring that back together. Or if you guys are talking about moving on, they don't want to do that. Or they kind of, yeah, they want to hold on, they don't want you guys to move on. We have the Two of Fire in the reverse. Two of Fire in reverse. So they definitely feel like they want to hold on, but they do feel a little bit concerned about how to progress at the moment. So it does feel like there's something either preventing you from progressing, or there's some sort of blockage, and they're unsure as to how to move past that. What's on the bottom of the deck? We have the Knight of Fire in reverse. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like they have all this energy kind of like beneath the surface, but they're just not quite sure how to direct it or how to channel it. Because again, they don't know how to like progress, so they don't know how to take action because they don't know what kind of action they could take to get this into a better spot. So it does feel like it's some sort of tricky situation. Interesting. Let's have a look at what their 3D self would say to you if they had the chance. What deck for that one? Okay. I think this is... Oh, I nearly just pulled the camera over. Jesus. Alright, so I think I'll use... Oh, I don't know, actually. Maybe not that one. It doesn't feel right. Come on, help me out. Which deck is the one that I want? Is there a deck that I'm not seeing? There was a deck indeed that I wasn't seeing because it was hidden behind the corner of the shelf out of view. And I was like, oh. Right, so we're going to see what their 3D self wants to say to you but hasn't. What does Group 1's person want to say to them but hasn't or can't for whatever reason? What does group one's person want to say to them but can't for whatever reason? So far in terms of the signs that I can see on the table is we have a lot of fire. Yeah, we have a lot of fire. We've got some Aries energy. We've got some Scorpio energy. We've got some Pisces energy. We've got some Aquarius, some Virgo, and we've got Capricorn, Libra, Aries, and Cancer there. All right, so we have the number 2, find balance. We have number 9, seek. So this person would say that they're starting to discover exactly how to find balance in their life and what means more to them. They're seeking those more meaningful things, more meaningful experiences, and they're getting to know themselves and what they truly want in life. It feels like they are sort of creating quite some sort of, they're definitely working on creating like an inner peace. Yeah, they could be doing breath work and meditation. It feels like they're definitely getting more in touch with their spiritual self, and that's what's helping them find this inner balance and like find what matters most to them and what they want to do with their life. And moving on. So I feel like this is helping them sort of move away from the things that don't really serve them and fulfill them and go on that path of discovery where they do try to find what matters most, create a purposeful or a meaningful life. On the bottom we have control, number 8. So maybe find discipline, control, sort of look at themselves more as like an observer and figure out maybe where they don't have control or where they're giving their power away and trying to kind of bring that back into balance. It really feels like they're working on like self-mastery. So they're definitely trying to tell you basically that they're going within, they're doing a lot of spiritual work, they're trying to create balance and harmony, they're figuring out what means the most to them. They are, practicing spiritual routines and spiritual practices in order to better themselves and really sort of, I guess, reconnect to the light within them. So it's they're very much talking about themselves. I feel like they're almost, I don't know, it feels like they're trying very hard to present themselves as a certain way to me because, this is their chance to say something to you, to let you know how they feel or to hype you up or to say something about you or something about the connection, and they're very much telling you all about themselves. So I don't know, it just seems a little bit interesting to me. Definitely going to be interesting to see what the divine has to say about this in the extended reading, because it just, like, come on, dude, you've got a chance to say anything you want and you're just going to talk about yourself and your journey. Interesting. Okay. Feels like a front or a facade or something. Like they're going out of their way to prove that they are bettering themselves. All right, so let's take a look and try and find out who this person is through my goodie jar items. So we're going to start with the zodiac signs, the most common ones. Sorry about the noise. We're going to start with the most common zodiac signs for this group. So we're going to try and set the attention of the other person's information to come through. Just give them a good mix up. Okay, so what are the most common zodiac signs of group 1's person? Okay, that should be enough. So the first out is the second house, which links to Taurus energy. So we have Taurus coming out. We have the 12th house coming out, which is Pisces. We have, probably don't really need these in this reading, do I? I suppose we can take them. The karmic past, when the South Node comes out, it either can represent that you guys have had some sort of history together, or that this person is at the moment stuck in some sort of like karmic issue that they're needing to break out of. If the North Node also comes out, it means that they have overcome it. If it's just the South Node, I do kind of link that to they haven't quite overcome that past yet, that karma. We have Pluto energy, so that's Scorpio, which I did mention before, so that's kind of an extra hint, I suppose. We have Venus coming out, so Venus is Taurus again and also Libra. We've got Mars energy coming out, which is Aries and also Scorpio energy. And we have the first house again, which is also Aries. So heavy Aries, heavy Scorpio, heavy Taurus, and then we've got Pisces and Libra. Let's now grab some of the more common initials. So again, I'll give it a quick shake. While I'm shaking, even though my voice is going to be a bit wobbly, when the initials come out, if we get two of the same initial, it can mean that either their first and last name start with the same letter. It doesn't have to be the initial that comes out, but it can just be a representation that their first and last name starts with the same letter. It could also mean that you and they have the same first initial in either your first or last name. Or they could have a double letter in their name, like double E, double L, double S. Any letter, doesn't have to be the one that comes out, but if two come out, that's just a few of the different meanings that can represent. So let's have a look. What are the more common initials in this group of group 1's person? How many is that? We've got 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. I try to get at least sort of 10 initials to give a few combinations, because obviously everyone has 2 initials at least. So we have W here. We've got E. We've got P, I, N, T. We have E again, so they could have either lots of E's in their name, they could have a double E in their name or a double anything in their name, or their first and last name could start with the same initials, or you and they could start with the same initial. We've got S, another S, so there's another hint that those meanings are definitely at play here. And then we have the letter L, And the final thing we're going to do is get some personal traits and characteristics of this person. So just the really most common ones. So take these with a grain of salt. Everyone's very different, very unique. What are the more common traits of a group 1's person? What are the more common or more collective traits of group 1's person? We don't want to get too many of these. Otherwise it just gets too confusing. Okay, so maybe this person's not all smack. Maybe they actually are, meditating and doing breath work, and they are being a spiritual person. And maybe it's important that you do know that for some reason. Who knows? So we're obviously going to find a little bit more out in the extended. But it does seem like they are on some kind of spiritual path, trying to better themselves. We have hazel eyes coming through. We have short hair. So regardless of gender, for that gender, it's short hair. This person has a very casual kind of athletic style when it comes to the clothes they wear. We have the empty cup. So they maybe are someone that's trying to fill their cup. Yeah, look at that, filling their cup with H2O. But H2O could also mean that they are trying to take good care of themselves on the inside. And it can also mean that they are, trying to exercise and take care of themselves in general. It could be someone that often carries around a bottle of water, and it could also be someone that is a little bit thirsty for you. So there are hints as to who this person may be. So I am going to take this into the extended reading now. And in the extended reading, we're going to first look at whether or not this person's going to take any action, and if so, when that action will be. We are going to look at what the divine has to say about this connection. So we're going to get the divine truth about this person and the divine truth about this connection. See if this all matches up and it's all true. Because again, this is their 3D self coming through and saying their interpretation here. So we're going to look at the divine truth. And then we're going to get some advice from your own higher self and figure out what your higher self's advice is for you in this connection and also in life in general. So not just to do with this connection and love, but we're also going to look at what you should focus on in life in general to try to get to your highest path. So lots to cover. Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed this reading today. Subscribe for future uploads if you're interested as well, because I would love to have you around more often. And besides this week where I was a little bit stuck in isolation with my son, I usually post 2 to 3 times a week. So when we don't have these unexpected turns of events, I'm pretty consistent with my posting, but obviously life does happen sometimes and it happens to the best of us. But yeah, so is that all I have to say? I think so. Yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. So if you're joining me in the extended, I will see you shortly. But if this is where I leave you, regardless, thank you very, very much for watching, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Bye. Hi, Group 2. Welcome to your reading, where we are going to find out the truth of this connection or this person, whoever you have in mind. So if you have hawk eyes, you're probably going to notice that this is a new leaf. It's a little bit bigger than the last one, because I was very ambitious to believe that I was going to get through all 6 recordings, like every pile and the extended, in the time that I had to myself. And it didn't take long before the other items shriveled up. So I had to go find the closest resemblance that I could. And I did a pretty good job actually, but it's just a little bit bigger. So I'll show you both sides there to refresh your memory roughly on what your leaf looks like, even though this is a bit of a replica. So we'll put her over there, and we are going to start getting into your messages. So we're going to be starting with what this person is sort of doing in their life at the moment or focusing on most. And this is like, we're looking from like a 3D perspective. We're not looking from like a higher self perspective. Like this is like literally what's going on. So group two's person, what are they currently thinking, not thinking, what are they currently focusing on and doing in their life at the moment? So we have Neptune coming out first, which is Pisces energy, which relates to the 12th house. So the first thing that came to my mind was like substances and escapism and like more. So this energy can be very much one that likes to, I don't know, like escape the earth realms and kind of like, you know, dabble in like psychedelics and other substances and, you know, maybe even like drinking, kind of like get away from reality and like escape. Or it could even relate to like secrets and like they're being really private and keeping to themselves. And it can even relate to karma. So when we start to clarify, we'll get more of an idea, but that's so far what I can tell you about that. What is group two's person doing and focusing on in their life at the moment? We have Cancer energy. So Cancer relates to the 4th house, and this is like childhood, family, home, roots, and again, privacy and solitude. So there is definitely an emphasis on really keeping to themselves. What is group two's person focusing on and doing? We have the 1st house, so the house of self, and we have Scorpio. So this person looks as though they're really spending time to themselves. They could be trying to maybe undo their karma and get back to their roots, really focusing on like Scorpio's like rebirth and transformation, but it can also be a little bit taboo. So when I'm seeing Scorpio and Neptune, I do feel like I do get this vibe that they're like exploring their mysticism and their spirituality in their own ways. So there's like this sort of like taboo or like alternative, like I don't really know how else to explain it. When we get into the clarifiers, we'll get a little bit more information, but it looks like they're kind of they could even be kind of like going back to their childhood, healing childhood issues, really trying to work on themselves, going through a bit of a rebirth or a transformation. And this Pisces energy could definitely be more about like seeing through the illusions of their childhood and learning to kind of gain power back over themselves and things like that. So let's jump into the clarifiers and delve a little bit more into this. So group two, can we clarify more about this Neptune energy for group two's person? So first we have the Lovers in the reverse. And then we have the High Priestess. So to me, I definitely feel this energy of like them getting more in touch with their intuition and their spirituality, and maybe kind of like trying to work on the connection with themselves. This person potentially has struggled to love themselves, either in the past, or it's just something they still struggle with at the present time, and they're trying to sort of undo the reasons they are the way they are and really bring everything back into balance. So they're kind of exploring their shadows, trying to bring awareness, bring light to what's in their shadows and what may be in their subconscious that's like subtly driving them in life. And it looks like they're trying to kind of shine a light on all of that and work on that balance. So it does feel like they're keeping a lot to themselves because, again, like that Neptunian energy is about secrets and privacy. Same as Cancer energy. Even Scorpio energy is very private, and the High Priestess is very she's secretive. She keeps a lot to herself. She doesn't I don't know, like she leaves a lot to the imagination. So it feels like they're being quite quiet about this, or quite secretive about it, not really telling the world about their process. Like if this person's on social media, this would be the type of person that's not posting, like they've just, without mentioning anything, they've just sort of like started to hide almost. Not intentionally, just to work on themselves in like a quiet way without showing the world, I guess. Just doing it in their own time and in their own space and in their own way. So clarifying the Cancer energy for Group 2's person. Can we clarify what they're focusing on to do with Cancer or the 4th house? We've got a lot of water energy coming through, so that does tell me that they're kind of like becoming more aware of their emotions, becoming more in tune with them, starting to maybe honour their emotions a little bit more as well. We've got the 5 of Swords in reverse, clarifying Cancer, 4th house, and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, it definitely feels like they're trying to kind of like regain their power over their past conflicts and their past issues. It feels as though they're kind of seeing the truth of their history and how maybe not okay certain things were as they kind of awaken. And they're trying, now that they can see it, they're trying to not let it be their driving force anymore. Like they're trying to gain more control over their, over what drives them and what motivates them and what's, I guess, driving them in like their day to day. So making sure that they're coming from a place of power, not fear or like unknown traumas that happen to be in the driver's seat. That type of thing. So it feels like they kind of have withdrawn. They're really kind of reflecting on their past, healing their past, trying to overcome a lot of past challenges and really regain their power and their drive. First house, can we clarify the first house for Group 2's person? So we have the Hierophant in reverse. I feel like this person is, they're rediscovering their true identity rather than conforming to belong. So like if they have been changing themselves to suit other people, it seems like they're learning more about who they are and what they stand for rather than feeling like they have to believe or value what everybody else does. They're learning more that they can think for themselves, feel for themselves, make their own decisions about what their beliefs are, and they're not afraid to kind of break those traditions and be their true self, even if it means going against society or going against the family or going against certain traditions. This person is just learning a lot about themselves, and this is helping them kind of like I don't know, feel more okay about who they are and more confident in who they are and more confident to be that person all the time, not have to change around different people to feel like they fit in. Learning to accept themselves instead of seeking that acceptance and that validation from others. Clarifying the first house. So this person could definitely be learning a lot about like themselves and their spirituality, and they could be kind of teaching themselves and being their own teacher in this process, because they seem to be like not looking towards, you know, institutions or other people or mentors. They seem to be wanting to do this for themselves. So they seem to be kind of like doing their own research, gathering their own facts, their own information, following what resonates to them, following their interests, their curiosities, following what really intrigues them as a person the most, instead of what everybody else thinks and feels and believes and things like that. And yeah, the Page of Swords is like someone that's learning, gathering facts, gathering resources. So again, like I feel like this person is just learning a lot about themselves. Can we clarify the Scorpio card? So that's the 8th house. Group 2's person. What is it about Scorpio that they're focusing on? Page of Pentacles. And the 10 of Pentacles. It feels like they are... 7 of Swords. It kind of is giving me the energy that they're like... So, how do I explain it? Kind of like rediscovering what they have to offer in something like long term, or a partnership, or like like in terms of family and partnerships and things like that. They are rediscovering what they want, what drives them, what motivates them, what they would find the most valuable. And it seems like they want to invest in their future now. So they're not thinking of like the short game anymore. They're thinking long game, and they want to create long-term abundance, not short-term like not short-term gratitude. They want like long-term fulfillment, and they want to invest in that. And I feel like they're kind of rediscovering what they can offer and what they can do to achieve that long-term abundance. So the next thing that we're going to look at is what they're thinking and feeling about you specifically. So we are going to, I might just shuffle these up a touch. So just to go over the signs that we have on the table at the moment, I'm more so just reading like the major arcana and the astrology cards, as opposed to like all the minor arcanas and the court cards. But we have Pisces, Cancer, Aries, Scorpio, Gemini, Virgo, Taurus. The High Priestess sometimes makes me think of like Pisces and Libra a little bit too. So I'm going to call it and say Libra and Pisces in there as well. But let's go on to the next section. Where's that deck actually? Oh, it's standing up. Oh, the Seven of Airs on the bottom here too. And it was on the bottom here. I didn't really talk about it because I didn't really see how it blended with this reading. But now that I'm seeing it twice, I feel like maybe there's a message. Oh, Okay. It feels like in the past this person was either a liar, a cheater, a bit of like a narcissistic energy or a selfish energy that took more than they would give. And it seems like they're trying to basically bring awareness to those behaviors within themselves, and it feels like they're trying to change those behaviors and close those cycles out. I don't feel like they're there yet, but that's what they're trying to do. I feel like they're aware of it now and they're trying to do better, but it's like a lifetime of conditioning and patterns that they're stuck in, and they need to it's hard to undo that. How's group two's person thinking and feeling about group two, their human self, their 3D self? How are they feeling about group two? How are they thinking and feeling about group two on a 3D level, on a human level? So we've got the Page of Water in reverse. We've got the Hermit in reverse. Group two's person thinking and feeling about group two. Seven of Water in reverse. Oh, wow. Queen of Fire in reverse. And underneath the deck, we have the Two of Fire in the reverse also. This person is still feels like they're still gaining clarity over how they feel. It feels like they've had a very closed heart space for a very long time. And this is what they're kind of working on, trying to transform. So they're really trying to work on opening up and be more emotional and more sensitive, and trying to open up to that side of them. But it does feel like it's quite overwhelming to them at times. It feels like as though this person it's like this partnership is kind of in the back of their mind, but it's not their priority right now. It feels like they're still relatively shut down to connection in that way, and still trying to like learn and sort of teach themselves how to be more comfortable in the emotional realm. So this feels like they're kind of at the early stages of that awakening or that journey where they're kind of just starting to rediscover all of this. And it definitely feels overwhelming to them, and they are struggling to make clear decisions, and they just don't really feel worthy or confident when it comes to the partnership. So this is just how they feel. Like they don't feel like they have a lot to give. They don't feel like they are your equal at the moment. They kind of are a little bit, I don't want to say self-pity. It almost feels like it's warranted for them to feel that way, because maybe they weren't so good to you in the past or something. But yeah, they're kind of, they're dealing with the aftermath of that now, and that's what gets overwhelming to them, because I guess because it's all hitting them at once, they've been closed off to these feelings for such a long time that it's kind of coming in all at once. And that's a little bit much for them. So they're feeling a little bit sort of guilty, maybe a little bit lacking in sort of self-worth, and feeling like they're maybe not good enough for you. So they kind of try to push the partnership to the back of their mind, and they're just trying to I almost feel like they avoid thinking or feeling about you too much, because that's the overwhelming part. So they're going within and they're learning about themselves, they're discovering themselves, they are learning about what their values are and things like that. And as they learn that, they kind of are realizing more perhaps what they what they've done, whether that's to you or what they've messed up and things like that. And that is where it gets a little bit painful. And that's where that's almost sort of where they draw the line, and they're not willing to go into that just yet. It feels like that brings them pain that they're not ready to confront. And so that's kind of where they draw the line. So they're willing to work on themselves, but they're not quite willing to, I guess, dive deep into how they feel about you, because there's guilt that comes with that, or some sort of heavy emotion that they're not ready to face just yet. So they will in time, but that's kind of where they draw the line. And I feel like that's almost where that escapism comes in. So it's like they're willing to do the reflection, but then when it comes to you, it's like, okay, can't go there. And maybe that's where like they go for a drink, or they take something, or they do other kind of methods of escapism. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing in terms of how they're thinking and feeling about you directly. I'm just going to have a quick sip of water. So we're now going to look at what their 3D self would say to you, given the chance, or what their 3D self isn't saying to you if you are in contact with this person. It's basically what they're not saying to you. And then if you're not in contact, it's if they had the chance so say they like bumped into you, or they gained the courage to reach out, we are going to find out what they would say to you. Alright, so group 2's person, given the chance, what would this person say to group 2? So they have the number 6 coming out first, believe and succeed. Oh, no. That was the control card. It showed its face, but then it stayed in. Oh, that one. Oh, no. Okay. Right, clear messages, please. What would group 2's person say to them, given the chance? Daydreams and decisions, number 7. So they're pretty much the same card, these ones. Number 7, move, and underneath the deck we have refusing to see. So this person would say to you that they are trying to find direction in their life. They are trying to find, their why and their reason and their light, because this boat is definitely going towards some sort of bright light. So they're trying to move in a positive direction. And I feel like they're trying to move in a more successful direction. I feel like they're trying to, first of all, believe that they can move in a better direction. And just, it starts with the belief, and then I guess as they keep making progress, I just lost my train of thought. But daydreams and decisions. So it does feel like, when that's in the reverse, it feels like they're very overwhelmed. And then here it looks like they are trying to say that they're trying to find clarity in order to make better decisions and make more successful decisions. They're trying to find out what means more to them. They're trying to find out what really fulfills them and what they really value, and move towards those things. Move towards the things that fulfill them in their heart space, which is the gateway to the soul. So things that fulfill their soul. It feels like they're trying to face up to everything that they have been refusing to see in the past, but it's still taking them some time to get that clarity. They're still not ready to go down that route of what happened with you in the past. It's like that, again, they're not quite ready to face that pain. They need to start by, I guess, finding direction, making better choices, following their heart space. And then when they're feeling ready and strong enough, then they may, make that decision to finally reflect on that, the past that you guys share, or reflect on the decisions that they've made in the past that they're potentially not feeling great about. And finally find that higher awareness and use that to guide them in a better direction going forward in future. That's what they would say to you. So I still don't get that energy that they are ready right now, but it feels like they are trying to say that they're working on it. So what we're going to finish up with in part 1 of this reading is the goodie jar traits. So we're going to try and get some confirmation of who this person is. You do need to take these with a grain of salt, because the universe kind of tries to pull out, I guess, the most common in the group. So if your person has a zodiac sign that's, the only one of that sign, and everyone else is like, a couple of signs, then your person's sign might not come out, and that's okay. If the message is for you, it's still for you. If you don't get this validation, other people needed it more, or they're just a little bit more unique than the other people coming through in this pile. It's more about the message, and these are just more like extra validation and fun, really. So we're going to start with zodiac signs. And we are aiming to get to the details of Group 2's person, not Group 2. All right, so who's this person coming through for Group 2? With the most prominent signs. So signs, we have 12th house, so Pisces energy, which has already been coming through. So this person could have Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. We have Leo, so they could also have Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or these could be different people, different validations. We have Cancer coming through, so, excuse me, double Cancer, double Pisces. We have Leo. This is Virgo energy coming through there. We've got some Taurus energy coming through, and Aries energy. So we got a confirmation of almost everything out here. except for Scorpio, which is interesting. But we do have Virgo down here with the Hermit. We have some Leo energy with the Queen of Fire, so we'll put that there. I don't know why I'm doing that actually, but you know, we'll just go with it. So now we're going to get the most common initials coming through for group 2's person. Just give them a quick mix up, make sure they're not all stuck together. So I'll just keep shaking until we get about 10 or so initials for group 2's person. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Should be about right. Alrighty, so initials for group 2, we have U. We have L, S, P, Q, K, W, Y, F, W again. So we have 2 W's. So double letters can mean that you and this person share the same first or last name initial. It can mean that they have lots of that letter in their name, so it could be lots of W's, or it could mean that they have their first and last name start with the same letter, or they have, it doesn't have to be W, or they have a double letter somewhere in their name, like a double E, double L, double S. Doesn't have to be a W, but it can just replicate or represent the fact that there's a double letter somewhere in their name. And L. So we have a double L and a double W. So that could definitely mean that they have a double letter somewhere in their name. There's some hair in there. Ew. I don't know why I'm shocked. My hair is always everywhere. So we're going to get a few of the most common physical traits and characteristics of this person, of the people coming through. So we just get the main ones, so take them with a grain of salt, or if there's something really unique, it's probably because that person needed the validation the most or something like that. So what are the most common traits for group 2's person? Oh, we've got one. Oh, we've got 2 coming out already. Maybe I'll just keep doing this. I was going to shake the bowl, but they're doing all right. They're coming out. Most common traits for group 2's person. Try to get one more. Oh, and we got like 3 come out. Maybe that's why it was taking so long, because they were like, no, we can't just get one more. All right, so let's take a look at these traits that seem to be quite common. So we have blue eyes. We have blonde. We have tall or taller, so either for their gender, they're tall or they're taller than you. We have rugged. Oh, I need to take this one. Do you know what? I'm going to take it out right now. Otherwise, I'm just going to always forget. Because there was really only like a masculine intention with that. And I don't really know how to relate rugged to a female without sounding like they just don't take care of themselves. So that one's got to go. We have the caution tape coming through. We have by the book. We have unique. And we have polish. So this person definitely does take good care of themselves. They have like a very well polished appearance. There's something really unique about this person, either in the way they dress or the way they are. They're very they could be a reader, first of all. They could be someone that enjoys reading, but they are very by the book. So by the book is not one generic book, but whatever their book is, or whatever their values and the way they want to do things is, they're trying to stick to that. So they're trying to stick to a I don't know, like maybe they have their routines and they really like to stick to their routines, or they kind of like, yeah, it feels like they could be like a little bit rigid in their ways, or they just have like a certain way of doing things that they like to stick to. The caution tape, I feel like that could be a representation of that Seven of Swords energy that we keep getting through, where this person feels maybe like they've sold themselves short in the past, or that energy of this person being a little bit of a taker. Or maybe you guys, that's just, you know, in the past you have had that need to be cautious and approach this person with caution. I could pull a card on it. Why is the caution card here for group 2's person, please? Why is the caution card here? The Ace of Wands in reverse. So yeah, maybe in the past, this person's, it feels like they didn't really have much control over their impulses and their desires and their urges in the past, and it feels like their urges and desires more controlled them. So it feels like this person's overcoming that for most of you, but just take that if it resonates. But that's the end of this section for part 1. We're going to take it into the extended now, where we're going to look at what action they're going to be taking and when. We're going to get the divine's perspective on this person and the connection, so the divine truth about it, which is going to let you know anything that you need to know about this person or about the connection. And we're also going to get some guidance from your higher self and look at what you should be focusing on in your life in general that's going to benefit you the most at the moment. We were also going to get guidance from your higher self about the connection, but we figured out with group 1 that the divine truth gave all that guidance that you need, and the divine definitely knows what's best anyway. So we were able to remove that, because otherwise we would have been going for a really long time, just like this one has been. So I'm going to get going. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. If you're coming to the extended, fantastic, I'll see you over there. But even if I leave you here, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you tuning in and supporting this. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I really look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye. Hi Group 3, welcome to your reading, where we're going to be looking at the truth of the connection with the person you have in mind. So you guys chose the little purple flower. And we will get into your messages. Okay, so we're going to be starting with what this person is currently doing or focusing on in their 3D world. So like this world, not like spiritually or in terms of their higher self or anything. We're just looking at the 3D, and we're going to start there. Then we're going to move on to what they're sort of thinking and feeling about you. We're going to see what their 3D self would say to you given the chance, or maybe what their 3D self is not saying to you, depending where you're at with this person. And then we're going to finish off with some goodie jar traits to get some confirmation or validation of who this person is. And then we are taking it into the extended today, where we're going to be looking at what action they're taking, a time frame on when you're going to hear from them, if you're going to hear from them. We're going to look at the divine truth of the connection and the divine truth of the person, and so anything that you need to know. And we're going to get guidance from your higher self about what you should be focusing on in your life to align with your higher self. So lots to cover, so we're going to jump into it now. So starting with this deck here, we're going to find out what your person is currently doing in their life or focusing on. What's group three's person currently focusing on or doing in their life? Okay, so we have Uranus coming out first, and we have Venus coming out second. Okay, that's giving me an interesting message. Let me just keep going. What's group three's person doing and focusing on in their life at the moment? Twelfth house and the fourth house. Okay, so with Uranus and Venus coming out, I was feeling this energy of, so Uranus can associate, well, Uranus is associated with the 11th house, which is, it can be about like rebellion. And then with Venus coming out, it feels like this person's almost being rebellious when it comes to like partnerships, and pleasure, and yeah, even the 12th house is about like privacy, and it's about secrets and hideaways, and yeah, like it feels like this person is, they're definitely not being traditional or settling down. In fact, it seems like they're being very explorative, finding out kind of what pleases them and really exploring their like relationships and things like that, and being very either low-key about this or just doing things that they are trying to keep a secret. The fourth house, funnily enough, is about like the home, family, can be about childhood, it can be about privacy and solitude and things like that. So if anything, I feel like this person is doing this, I'm hearing behind closed doors. So like they could be exploring this stuff like in the privacy of their own home, or they're getting away somewhere to explore this in their own time, or I don't know, I'm getting a really weird vibe here right now, I'm going to be honest. So let's get into the tarot and explore this a little bit further. I'm almost inclined to use the tarot of sexual magic to see what comes out, but this is YouTube, and then I'll have to censor it probably because it's got nudity in the cards, so I don't want to use them if I don't have to. Maybe I can pull a few of those in the extended if that's the route that this is taking. Let's have a look. So talk to me about Uranus and why this person is, focusing on, okay, so Seven of Cups is a card about options. So this could be someone, that's exploring their options, exploring their sexuality, exploring themselves. It can also be like, exploring substances and things like that. Like I'm definitely seeing someone who's quite not in their right mind there. another clarifier for Uranus. Why is this person, or what is this person doing related to Uranus energy? The Magician in reverse. So definitely giving their power away. I really feel like this person is, it's like they're really exploring a very, how would I describe this? I do feel like this person is not holding on to their energy. I feel like they are giving it away and exploring, and that's just how I'm going to describe that. This definitely isn't someone in control of their desires or their urges. It's someone quite the opposite. Someone who, like, if you are committed to this person, this is definitely someone who is like misusing their power and cheating and giving it away and indulging in all types of different things. So I'd be very shocked if you're in a proper connection with this person. Like, this feels like you've obviously separated from this person, because this person is really they do not have control over their impulses, urges and desires at all. They're definitely just sort of they're lacking that control, lacking that alignment, lacking that clarity. It could be a form of escapism, trying to escape their true feelings. Let's have a look at Venus. What is it about Venus that this person is focusing on or doing in their life? This is definitely someone who's acting in a very non-traditional way. So when you think about the traditional way, it will be someone settling down, having a family, getting a home, meeting someone, getting a home, having a family, marriage, if that's something that you guys are interested in. Like, it's not a very traditional way. Like, this person seems to be kind of like completely rebelling. So clarifying Venus. So we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. It feels like they're refusing to face up to the pain that they've caused, not only others but also themselves. It feels like they're resisting ending these cycles. It seems like they just are clinging on to this same old cycle, unsure of how to break it. Maybe they're completely unaware, but there's kind of like a refusal to acknowledge that pain. This person feels like they have nothing to look forward to in life. They feel like they feel like they've lost everybody that's important to them. Or they have lost everyone that's important to, but they're not willing to face that fact. So maybe that's why they are so focused on just like other things and escaping and trying not to face that fact. Can I get one more for Venus, please? The Knight of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I do feel like they're very... I really get the feeling that this person is taking something or doing... They're either like drinking a lot or taking a lot of substances, or they're doing something to mask their emotions or suppress their emotions because they're really not willing to open that can of worms. Let's have a look at the 12th house. So this person's kind of like escaping in other people, escaping in not the healthiest of habits, basically anything to avoid thinking or feeling. Can I clarify the 12th house? Why is this person focused on the 12th house? Yes, anything to escape the pain, the overthinking, the guilt, the shame, any of those feelings seem to be like almost intolerable for this person. And they will just do anything to avoid feeling that way or thinking about maybe what they've done or twelfth house. It feels like anything to avoid thinking about what they had. Yeah, this person tries to do anything they can to avoid thinking about what they had. All right, let's clarify the 4th house. Why is this person focused on the 4th house? What are they doing that's related to the 4th house? Oh. Queen of Wands. And the 6 of Wands in reverse. One more, please. One more. So we have the Star and we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So it feels like this person it feels like this person, they're going after something. They seem to be going after like a dream or an achievement of some kind. So they're very driven towards something in their life, and it's some sort of like dream or recognition or success or achievement. So it's something that they do in their life though. Like it's not success in love. Like this is something for themselves. So maybe it's something that they've done since they were a kid, or something that they are very passionate about, or something that they're very driven towards. So whatever they do with their life, it seems like they're very driven and passionate about that, and they're really seeking the success and the recognition, and like seeking to achieve their goals, achieve their dreams, and they're very stubborn when it comes to that. So very focused on like making their dreams come true, but it's more like a material dream, if that makes sense. It's like a dream for themselves. So let's maybe move on to the next question. So let's have a look at how they're thinking and feeling about you directly. I think this is going to be a long one. Yeah, it feels like this person really lacks direction, or they lack control in some way. But let's have a look. So how's this person thinking and feeling about group 3, please? Okay, so we've got the 8 of air. Oh, I thought... Okay, wait, maybe I'm just going to restart that, because that was a bit of a mess and I'm not sure what I was supposed to take. So how is this person thinking and feeling about group 3? So we have the awakening card. So this person is in the process of going through an awakening, and it feels like they are starting to pause, starting to gain new perspectives, and slowly awakening to the fact that they have been very selfish in the past, and perhaps that they need to work on that. How they feel about you is they feel a bit stuck. The dreamer. So they dream of a new beginning with you. So maybe that is a dream that they have, but they have no idea how to really make that happen at the moment. But they definitely dream of a new beginning with you. If you don't have children with this person, they dream of having a child with you. They especially dream about having a little girl with you. And they really want to believe that you guys will have a happy ending. And just remember that this is all coming from them. So this is how they are feeling at present about you. So the 9 of Earth. It feels like they are acknowledging your independence and your ability to hold it down. They feel like you are quite content and doing quite well for yourself, and that you're very grounded, very reliable, and yeah, like you just have a very successful energy about you. I think they admire your stability because they seem to really lack it, and you seem to have that stability that they lack. The 4 of air, meditation, recuperation, contemplation. So it feels like they definitely think about you a lot. When they do stop to rest, it feels like you're constantly on their mind, and all that they can think about is bringing peace to the situation with you. But it feels like they don't let themselves do that very often. I do feel like that is exactly what they try to escape from, is those thoughts and the memories and the thinking that comes with stopping and sitting still and having to listen to their own thoughts. Chariot in reverse, they kind of run from that and they try to not go down that road because I feel like it's quite painful for them to do that. So that's what they're thinking and feeling. Now we're going to look at what they would say to you or what they're not saying to you. So whether you are currently connecting and struggling to speak or struggling to find truth, or if you're not in contact, either way, this is what their 3D self would say to you. Now, what deck was I using for that? Oh, yes. Alright, so what would group 3's person say to them that they're not saying to them? What would group 3's person say to them that they are not saying to them at the moment? So we have number 5, change your focus in the reverse. So they're asking you to not change your focus. They're asking you to hold your vision, hold on to the hope, try to believe in a future with them, try to believe in them as a person. They don't want you to look in a different direction. They want you to hold on. They want to be able to return to you when the time is right. So we have love in reverse. So they know that the love, it's going to be difficult to get back to the love that maybe you guys once did share. They can acknowledge that there's a disruption here and that, maybe right now things aren't the best that they could be. And maybe for some of you, maybe they're in quite a bad place, but this person still is asking that you hold on. What would this person say to group 3? I think that they're also asking you to hold on while they learn to love themselves. So we have heal in the reverse, and I was just thinking, they're asking you to hold on while they learn to love themselves, but we didn't get any of that energy in the first bit, in their what they're thinking and or what they're focusing on and what they're doing in life. Like they're just escaping and indulging and doing what makes them happy in the moment, escaping. So it's interesting that they're asking you to hold on while you learn to love yourself, and then we got heal in reverse because they're not really doing much to heal. They're not doing much to free themselves. They're not doing much to move forward in a more positive direction or to find that guiding light. They're not doing that. They're not making those decisions. They're not even recognizing maybe that they need to make this decision. So it almost seems like it's a little bit, to me, as an unbiased or as an objective person coming into this or giving these messages, it feels very selfish of them to ask you to wait while they learn to love themselves, because they're not really doing that. They're not learning to love themselves. They're not healing. They're not facing their wounds. They're not facing their patterns or their conditioning or the behaviors that are holding them back. They're sitting here talking about wanting to move into a positive direction, but they're not making the conscious decision to do so. They're just escaping and closing their eyes to the problems and just choosing to continue this path of indulgence. That's what I can see at the moment. So just take that into consideration. That's my little opinion there. So we will get divine truth about the person and the connection in the extended reading, which can help clarify what I'm saying, or validate it, or even prove me wrong. But I'm just going to say what I'm feeling with my whole heart, because I don't ever want to mislead anyone, and I pride myself on speaking the whole truth according to what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing. So yes, we will move on now to the part where we look at the goodie jars. So we're going to get a little bit of hints about who this person is. So take them with a grain of salt. Not every single person will get details of the person. Some may need it more than you, or your person may have very unique details that are very different to the majority of this group. So we just have to take it with a grain of salt. We'll start with zodiac signs. I'll just give it a quick mix. So who is the person, or what are the main zodiac signs of the person coming through for group 3, or the people coming through for group 3? What are the main zodiac signs? Okay, so did one go down the back? Nope, I'm seeing things. Must have just been one of these. All right, so why did I get tired just from shaking that jar? Okay, so we have the 10th house, which is Capricorn energy coming out so far. Did I speak about the signs that we already had? I didn't, did I? So we already have Aquarius, we have Libra and Taurus, we have Pisces, and we have Cancer. We have more Cancer with the Chariot. We have Aries with the Fool or the Dreamer in this deck. What's the Hanged Man? Do I have a deck nearby that can tell me what the Hanged Man is? I think this one might tell me. Oh dear. Oh, more Neptune. So more Pisces. So double Pisces. So there we have Capricorn. There we have Libra. So we have double Libra coming out. We have heavy Earth coming out. So we'll put Earth with the Capricorn one there. Cancer energy. So we had Cancer here and here as well. More Pisces. Oh, I'm loving how these are all so like connected with each other. More Pisces. Wow. I don't know what that noise was. And we have, okay, this is confirmation that this person is still in karmic cycles and they are yet to close them out in order to reach their potential, because unless we get the North Node out with this, it means that they have not outgrown their karmic past just yet, or they haven't released their karmic past yet. They're still stuck in these cycles. So there is some extra confirmation there. So we're going to get now the initials. So what are the main initials for this group, for group 3? What are the main initials of the people coming through for group 3? think that should be enough. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yes, that's plenty. Okay, so if we get any double initials, I'm just going to say it now instead of saying it after. If we get any double initials, it can mean a range of things. It can mean that they have a lot of that specific letter throughout their entire name. It can mean that you and your person have the same initial for your first or your last names. It doesn't have to be the initial that comes out, but it can just represent that. It can represent that their first and their last names start with the same letter. It doesn't have to be the letter that came out. And it can mean that they have a double initial. So like a double E, double L, double S doesn't have to be the initial that comes out, but it can mean that. So we have A, E, F, P, there's the double, must have known something, L, J, G, S, K, H, and V. And the last thing that we'll do is we'll get a few of the main characteristics and traits of this person, just some of the main collective ones, or if like a really unique one comes out, then maybe that's just some validation for someone who needs it, but we'll see what comes through. What are the main collective traits of the person or / people coming through for group 3? Oh, that should be plenty. Try to only get a few of these so that we don't get too confusing and too many mixtures of different people. So we have teeth. So this person has nice teeth / nice smile. This person has medium length hair for some of you. So medium for that gender. Okay, so this could be someone that you have been married to or you are married to and separated from. Or this person, you could have been engaged to this person or in a long-term commitment with this person at some point. We have torso, so this person, or they could even maybe hope to marry you one day. We have torso, so they have a very attractive torso area. This person has a very youthful appearance, so they dress like quite up to date. They keep up to date in their like fashion sense, but they also look younger than they actually are and keep quite a youthful appearance. We have green eyes coming through for some of you. Do you know what? I had a funny feeling this would come out because of the energy of the person coming through. I was like, they've got like, I think there's a phrase, I don't know if I can say it. I'll say a mild version of it, like toxic D energy, because some of like the best, times that you might have with your life is probably some with the most toxic people. So it's quite funny that this came out. So this big person either has a big booty or a big eggplant emoji. So I can see why you may have been, caught up. And we have the star. So interestingly enough, this person could be a public figure or in the public eye for some reason, which would make a lot of sense as to why they're so driven to get some sort of recognition or achieve some sort of dream, because maybe they are, I don't know, a public figure or they're in the spotlight or something like that. Or they have a social media presence or I don't know, but they seem to be very driven to like keep up appearances and all that kind of stuff. Oh, hello, there's the snake. So confirmation, this person is a snake. They're not honest. They are wrapped up in their karmic cycles. They are hiding things and not being forward. So there's that validation again. So even if you're not coming to the extended, there's two things to validate that feeling that I'm getting about this person. So that's good that we were able to get the validation. So whether you come to the extended or not, you have got it. So that is where I'm ending part 1, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you want to come over to the extended, the link is in the description box below. Come and rent it, come and chat with me over there, and we'll get into some even more important information like the divine truth, any action they're going to take, when you might hear from them, any guidance from your higher self, etc., etc. There'll be heaps to get through over there, but even if this is where I leave you, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe for future uploads, and I can't wait to connect with you again soon. Bye.